All right, welcome everybody to our September team call. A little late, but better late than never. We were out in Utah, so we had a good excuse to have a delayed team call this month. So how I want to start this off is, of course, with our usual wins. So I want people to share some wins, some things that have been going on to encourage one another. And I think it's really good for us to have to reflect on the things that are going well, because there are things that are going well, and sometimes we just focus on the things that aren't going well. So let's talk about some things that are going well.
So for me, something that's going well was the release of the yoga oils. And so I have 2 calls in, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them to set up one-on-one appointments with yoga instructors to talk to them about oils and how they might use them in their practice and personally. So I thought that was just a really great connecting point, a new connecting point for me.
It's a really good connecting point. Do you think that you're gonna, do the usual top 10 and then offer when will you actually talk about what's your game plan on that?
Yeah, my game plan is to do just what you said, is to do my usual conversation, but then talk about at the beginning in the agenda part, I would talk about how I have some very special oils that are just newly released that I think you're going to love. And I'm going to diffuse them in the diffuser while we're having our conversation, and then I'll just bring them up at the end.
I think that's awesome. Perfect. Thank you, Laura Whipperman. I said your full last name instead of Laura Whip. Anybody else have any wins?
I feel like my team is on fire, and they are coming back on the heels of convention and ready to educate and share with others. So they were already educating and sharing with others, but I feel like they're empowered and they feel mentally prepared to do that.
You've got some big wins going on over there in California. Awesome. Mom, do you have anything you want to share?
I just had somebody that I had enrolled about 2.5 years ago that said she wanted to be a builder and changed her mind. And what is significant is that she was afraid that it would affect our relationship. And I assured her it didn't matter what her decision was. We were still friends. And now today she is referring me to somebody who is huge in Young Living, who has a health and wellness business that is like been doing Young Living for 10, 12 years, and now wants to do doTERRA instead. So she's giving me this referral, and in fact, we're going to go and speak to the lady together and hopefully do that in central Wisconsin and western Wisconsin. But it's amazing to me to always remember that, to be kind no matter what, and you never know when or where the fruit will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a testament to the fact that if you love it for people well, like there is a lot of fruit in that. Yeah, awesome. Anne, I see that you unmuted yourself.
I'm in my PJs. I don't want anyone to see me. Anyway, I sent out email invitations this morning to a number of people since Laura was very kind to purchase a convention kit on my behalf. And I wanted to share that with some people that are enrolled and some that are not. And Laura is going to be supporting me with that, with product information pages and all her knowledge gathered from convention. So that's happening, I hope, this week if I get a good response, and I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. I love that. This is such a fun time of year to touch base with your customers with just like something fresh, like a fresh perspective. And I love an excuse for that, to reach out and touch base. So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Oh, well, I think this is like an extended win, but I decided to do personal one-on-one coaching with like a business coach. It was my mom's idea. All my ideas are from her. And it's like changing my business every single week. It's been really impactful. And it's helped me with more personal enrollments. Hey, Lauren, Katie. Just like going from maybe just a couple enrollments to 7, really changing things around, and many exciting things. So lots of wins from that, but it was a win to commit to that, and it's led to a lot of other wins too. Lauren, Katie, I'm putting you on the spot. We're just sharing wins. Do you have anything that you guys want to share?
Do you want me to share about the time management thing?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
So I've always had horrible time management. My time always manages me for sure. And I just realized that that's not going to work if we really want to grow with doTERRA. And so Laura and I, for the first time ever, sat down with our calendars, and we had like a really long conversation, which is kind of cliche. And we broke down hour by hour what we were going to work on, and we're just going to go week by week to see how it goes. And that was like a major breakthrough for us. And instead of feeling like, oh, I have to do this, it's so like freeing, because you really can be present where you're at, because oh, I don't have to be thinking about homework right now because I have homework later for an hour. Well, I don't have to think about doTERRA right now because I have doTERRA tomorrow first thing in the morning. So it really allows us to be free doing what we're doing. So far it's been great. So that was a huge, huge win, not just with doTERRA, but just in life in general, a huge win for us. So thank you to Amy's suggestion.
Thanks for sharing, Katie. I'm super excited for you too. When Katie and I have been talking a little bit about a paper planner for like a couple weeks, and Katie, I could tell, was kind of like, but she's open to new things and really teachable, so they gave it a go, and so far so good. So thanks for sharing that. Okay, so we're gonna thank you everybody for sharing your wins. We're gonna get started with let me just see here in controls really quick. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of recognition now that we've done some wins. People are doing great things, and I think it's important to recognize them. So top enrollers in August were Laura Whipperman, whoop whoop, on the call, and Kellen Jackson. Both had 2 enrollments. And the following people had 1, Heather Wehrman, Cynthia Mendez, Lauren Katie Haraman, and Marla Hill. So we had 19 new team members on our team in total. So lots of really great things there. And then what I have next is actually I asked people who were at convention to just share like for 1 minute about what was meaningful, what was impactful, why were they glad that they went. So nobody's been like people are just going to share whatever they want to share about their time out there, but I think it's really good to hear the different experiences. So it's not just from one person's perspective. Mom, do you want to start? And then I'll just kind of call people out as we go around. How's that sound? Oh, you're muted.
Okay. So very quickly, at convention 3 years ago, my first convention, so that was 4 years ago, they talked about LLV and the connection to depression, not the connection, how it's very helpful in mood regulation. Do you have to be compliant here?
We do, because this will go up on YouTube.
Okay, so sorry, strike that. Mood regulation. And there was a lot of discussion about that, and I've heard it over and over. We chased down the guy that worked on LLB with Rob Young, Dr. Karsten Smith, to a few events and learned and studied about that. And that was front and center this time on Saturday. There was a lot of discussion. Well, LLB was discussed Friday afternoon, but again, in regards to situations with the mood. And I just was inspired by that and really want to reach out to more people. And I find it interesting that since I've been home, I would say 5 different people last week spoke to me about having situations with anxiety and mood. And I feel like I'm even more energized and equipped to say, hey, I have something that can help. Why don't you try it for 30 days? Money back guarantee, boom.
Mm-hmm. It was a really good reminder that it was such a powerful tool we have. So yeah, awesome. Thanks. Laura Whip, do you want to go next?
Sure. I think my favorite part was not just the Science Friday, because although I really do like the science, but I really was enthralled by the latest studies that are in the process of being published or just recently have been published, and the people that came out to speak about them. And in particular, the 2 that I was most excited about was the On Guard and study with the countertops. That just blew me away. And the other one was, Lindsay, refresh my memory because I'm having a mental block right now.
I think I just remember you saying the On Guard was the one that you
Was it
were.
the Forgive in the oncology unit?
That was it. That was it. For the Forgive and Peace study, because that again blew me out of the water. So I would say it was the studies with the results, and it's just hard to refute when they do studies like that. You can talk about anecdotally how people respond to different oils, but then these studies come by and they just blow me out of the water. So
the studies were amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on all of them. Awesome. Thank you, Laura Whip. Linz, do you want to share next?
Sure. I was really interested with Jeremy Breckheisen. I don't know if I said it the right way, but he was the last afternoon on Saturday from the Gallup poll, and I enjoyed listening to. I was hung on every word that he was saying, but I liked his message about not focusing on where you feel your weaknesses are, but not ignoring them either, but just really finding a way to shine with your strengths. And imagining, I like the analogy that he had where we wrote our name and he said, what are you focusing on when you're writing with your non-dominant hand? Do you want your teammates to feel that way? Do you want other people to feel that way? Does that make you inspired to do better? Or is it just kind of defeat you? And so that really spoke to me. And I think we can play off of the strengths of our team and give everybody something that they really are proud about and want and are inspired by. And yeah, that really hit a nerve with me.
I loved that presentation. He was awesome. You wouldn't think that, he's got to be some kind of a statistician, that he would be such a good presenter. He was amazing.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Linz. Okay, Laura and Katie, do you guys want to share?
Oh, do you want to share? Oh, thank you, Parmesan. I don't know why I'm having a mental block right now. I think my favorite part of conventions was when we talked about healing hands, because that stuff really means a lot to me. And to see us do things on such a big scale was very impressive. Like the videos, the pictures, and just them keeping each other, keeping themselves real for us. I feel like all of the leaders were very down to earth. And I just, it just got really real. When I saw them being tested in the building, when I saw the people on the phones doing customer service, when they showed videos of them actually going and seeing what, they showed a video that showed how they actually get the frankincense, why it's like how they can overcut the tree, and then how our whole goal is to preserve the trees and keep frankincense alive and all of this stuff, and that we take care of the people that take care of our oils. I think is really cool, because otherwise nobody's taking care of them. So I think that was what was most impressive to me, was just what doTERRA does for others, because I feel like that's, even on our level, that's what we're here for, is we're just here for others. We're not here for ourselves, or we definitely would not be doing this, I don't think. So
thanks, Katie. Laura, do you have anything you want to add?
I just want to say I think my favorite part of the whole experience was just getting to know everybody and meeting everybody on our team, or the people that were there, and the camaraderie that we had. That was really important to me.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks for sharing, you too. Yeah, so I thank you everybody for sharing from your different perspectives. I feel like for me, the reason that one of my favorite things about going, why it's so important to me to go, is because there's just a culture of doTERRA that you get a taste of when you interact with the people in this smaller group. But it's really incredible to be part of a whole group that thinks similarly and that wants to care for people well and is very philanthropic, and that the quality of oils is important, all those things. I think it's really important to go and see for yourself what the company is all about, because at some point you probably want to know more than just what Amy and Melissa think. So that's a really valuable thing for sure. And I also think it's good to point out, my mom and I have been talking about this, there's not really much business talk when you're out there. It's very much education. So, if you have people that are asking you questions about it or you're sharing with them about it, I think it's really important to be like, this is really like product education. Like, there are actually a lot of people there who aren't sharing doTERRA, and that's fine. I think that it's really friendly that way, and I appreciate the format. So the dates for next year are September 19th to the 22nd. So mark your calendar for all my teacher friends. Hopefully that's further back in September, so maybe it's a little more doable. And I posted in the group about getting a ticket. Seriously, get a ticket. And it's super easy. There are many of us on here who have sold one, an extra one. It is so easy. They go like hotcakes. Okay, so get a ticket, look in the group, or ask me for that information. And I also just wanted to talk really quickly about the promotions that are still going on. The Lifelong Vitality was extended, so if you have somebody that enrolls this month and places a 100 PV LRP order next month, the vitamins will come right away with that order, okay? So don't forget about that. Don't forget about the add-ons that I made. But the truth is, if you're doing a follow-up appointment and creating a wish list with them, it should be no big deal to say, here's how you're going to get to 100 PV, and you'll get those vitamins for free. So I wanted to talk about that. And yes, that was about it for promotions. I'm hoping to do like a convention video, like more specifically of the different updates. I kind of need to make it through September, and there's lots of in-person opportunities to experience that. But stay tuned for things like that, and then we'll talk in early October. Is that already what it's going to be here in a matter of weeks? But thanks everybody for being a part of this. I will post the recording and we'll be in touch throughout the week. But I appreciate you all very much. Bye everybody.